New life has been discovered in saliva. What are the oral effects of vaping? Periodontal diseases linked to lung cancer. All this and more on Around the Net, RDH News this week. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I am Keith Duran, president of Peninsula Dental Hygienists Association. I hope everyone had a great 4th of July holiday. We're back to cover all the headlines that matter to you, the dental hygienist, and at the end we'll mention upcoming job opportunities and events near you. So let's get to it. Story number 1. New life form discovered in saliva is linked to human disease. This report comes to us from Andy Coughlin from NewScientist.com. Parasitic bacteria that are entirely dependent on the other bacteria they infect have been discovered for the first time in human spit. These tiny cells have gone undetected for decades but appear to be linked to gum disease, cystic fibrosis, and antimicrobial resistance. We only know of one other strain of bacteria that can infect other bacteria, but this type, called Bidlio vibrio, is a free-living cell that hunts down its prey. The newly discovered organism has very few genes and is dependent entirely on its host. Jeff McLean from the University of Washington School of Dentistry and his colleagues discovered the organisms by searching for bacterial strains in human saliva samples. Analyzing the DNA of all the species they managed to grow from these samples, they came across a mystery fragment of genetic material. This piece of RNA had been discovered by other researchers before, but no one could tell what organism it came from. McLean's team has now shown that RNA belongs to a bacterium that lives on another species, Acetonomyces odontolithius. When the researchers viewed this species under the microscope, they found that the cells were covered with much smaller bacteria, the first species ever discovered to parasite another bacterium. At first, Acetonomyces is able to tolerate the parasites, which attach themselves to the outer membrane, drawing nutrients out of their host. Later, they start attacking and killing the host, said McLean. Towards the end of the infection process, holes seem to form in the membrane of the Acetonomyces cell, and its contents gush out. Acetonomyces bacteria are also known to contribute to gum disease, but they are usually kept under control by white blood cells called macrophages, which engulf and destroy them. McLean says he has evidence that when these bacteria are infected with the parasite, they can evade these macrophages and make gum disease worse. Story number 2, the oral effects of vaping. This comes to us from Jamie Collins, contributor from Dentistry IQ. Like cigarettes, the aerosol first contacts the oral cavity when it is at its hottest. Studies have shown e-liquids contain toxins, diethylene glycol, which is also used in antifreeze, lead, chromium, among others. The menthol additive in e-cigarette liquids has a negative effect as conventional cigarettes on the epithelial cells as well as the fibroblasts within the periodontal ligament. The effect on the oral cavity vary depending on the frequency, type, and the individual response. Clinically, she states, I have seen everything from stomatitis to what appears as chemical burns, and the most common effects of vaping is xerostomia, and often the patient may complain of a dry cough. The ulceration or burns on the palate are more often sensitive, but patients don't relate them to e-cigarettes since they don't perceive the habit as harmful. Vaping has become a trend in American society, especially to the younger population who don't often think about the long-term oral and overall health risks. It may be harder to identify those patients who use electronic nicotine delivery systems versus conventional cigarettes, but awareness on the clinician's part and education can make the difference in life and overall health for years to come. Story number 3. Research analysis examined perio's link to lung cancer. Dentistry IQ editors on behalf of Dentistry IQ report, Chinese researchers have found that individuals with periodontal disease might be at an increased risk for developing lung cancer. The report, published ahead of print in the Journal of Periodontology, found that individuals with periodontal disease have a 1.24-fold increased risk of developing lung cancer. In the report titled Periodontal Disease and Incident Lung Cancer Risk, A meta-analysis of cohort studies, the authors assessed the findings of 5 cohort studies that evaluated 321,420 participants. The analysis notes an increased risk even after adjusting for participants' alcohol consumption and smoking habits, both of which are common risk factors for periodontal disease. Study participants who are drinkers, smokers, and have been diagnosed with diabetes, which is an independent risk factor for both lung cancer and periodontal disease, demonstrated a 1.36-fold increase in lung cancer risk. The data also indicated that women with periodontal disease are more likely than males to develop lung cancer. More people die of lung cancer than colon, breast, and prostate cancers combined. And for my Peninsula dental hygienist community, we have an employment opportunity for you. The Virginia Department of Health is looking for someone to fill the position of their Bright Smiles and Fluoride Varnish coordinator. The deadline to apply is scheduled for July 19th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. And for more details, you can go to jobs.virginia.gov and search for the job code FH043. Once again, job code FH043. And before we let you go, the ADHA has been asked by the Joint Commission on National Dental Hygiene Board Examinations to forward a survey to assist with the development of competencies necessary for the dental hygiene practice. The JCNDE is hoping to increase the response rate to that survey so that when the national boards are developed, they will reflect the most current practice of dental hygiene. At this time, the Joint Commission on National Dental Examinations is conducting the 2016 MBDHE Practice Analysis Survey to help identify these critical competencies. The survey is administered online. We have provided that link to participate in the description above. Please read the directions carefully before answering any questions. The survey should require no more than 30 minutes to complete, and please note that your responses will be kept strictly confidential. No individual dental hygienist responses will be voluntarily released, and they would appreciate the responses by July 15, 2016. With that, I am Keith Around, President of Peninsula Dental Hygienists Association. I want to say thank you for watching. Until next time, this has been Around the Net, RDH News This Week.